Hold on. All right. No, your bowl, there. Yo. So anyway, sorry about that. If you're tuned in, you're tuned in. But I want to talk about what's going on with Brittney GRINER. Free Brittney GRINER. Okay? First of all, there's just so many issues with this for me. Now, me, I live in Michigan. I live in the USA. I live in Michigan. Michigan, in particular, is one of the states in the USA where marijuana, cannabis, is legalized, both for medicinal purposes and recreational purposes. It became legalized for medicinal purposes in Michigan in 2008. I was 16 years old. I remember that because I was doing campaign work, but not necessarily for that, but I was just volunteering and doing stuff with the Democratic Party and to help President Barack Obama at the time, Senator, Barack Obama, but become president. So in 2008, a ballot initiative made it possible for medicinal marijuana to be legalized in Michigan. Then, 10 years later, in 2018, another ballot initiative made it possible for marijuana to be legalized for recreational purposes. So I want to make sure people kind of get where I'm coming from the USA and Michigan, and the state of Michigan. All right, I have had my medical marijuana card for 5 years, since 2017. All right? So that's another thing, right? Like, people want to talk about marijuana. I want to share this perspective. I've been smoking weed now, or taking weed, because I started off, I got my medical marijuana card in 2017, 25. Then, in April of 2018 is when I actually officially started engaging in marijuana. That's when I started really engaging in it and taking edibles, and then 2 weeks after the edibles, started smoking. But I would smoke like half a joint and be like, woo. But I noticed my stomach felt better. I was able to digest food. I was able to get an appetite. I was able to not be in intense, agonizing pain all damn day. Because I have Graves' disease, IBS, Crohn's, a lot of things going on. I had my gallbladder removed when I was 25. So, yeah, it was just a lot of things. So, when I think about Brittney GRINER being sentenced to 9 years, nine and a half years in a Russian prison for having less than a gram of THC CBD oil in a vape cartridge. Less than a gram. That's when I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Because, and then it just makes me think about how, again, even within the USA, we have the same janky-ass laws. Because, again, when you leave, you're free Brittney GRINER. But just to bring it up, what's happening in Russia, 9 years, 9.5 years for some damn half gram of vape oil? Come on. But then the crazy thing is, you got places throughout the USA that do the same thing. You got people going to jail, prison. I mean, long, lengthy sentences for nonviolent offenses and for having shit like weed. Meanwhile, somebody can be a rapist, a killer, a murderer, somebody, well, shit, Kyle Rittenhouse, prime example. A person can literally kill people. Everybody sees them kill people. Marching through with, assault rifles and all this other shit. But somebody has a half of a gram of concentrated THC CBD oil in a vape cartridge. 9 years, 9.5 years. And then, like I said, look, I'm going to have information in the description box below. There are states throughout the USA where people are going to jail, prison, simply for having weed, right? Like, and then just other nonviolent offenses, and other what they call drug offenses. And a lot of times, there's situations where people have addiction or they're using it in chaotic use. And instead of getting them assistance to help them not use it in chaotic use or to completely withdraw from it, they're thrown into prison. But like I said, somebody can go out here and murder somebody. Somebody can sexually assault, rape, abuse, all kinds of shit that's way worse than some damn weed or a plant, a flower, a drug, a substance, whatever. Nonviolent offenses, they go into jail for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But you could be doing killing and murdering and slaughtering and raping and assaulting, and you could get off with a slap on the wrist. Shit, like I said, we saw Kyle Rittenhouse actually shoot and kill. You know what I mean? Those people are dead, during a protest. And it was a peaceful protest. Like, people were just, walking. And wow to me. So, and then also I look at how, like, the geopolitical aspects of this, because we're talking about global politics. And Ukraine and Russia have been in a war the past 6 months. And people don't even, 6 months just flew by and they have been in a war this entire time. And the USA is an ally to the Ukraine. And everyone's like, well, why is she over there? Why are they over there? Why is Brittney over there? Why would you go into enemy territory? First of all, when Brittney went over there, there wasn't a war going on. Now, there may have been tension, obviously. There was tension. But here's the thing. Everyday people aren't aware of these things necessarily and don't have time to worry about those things either. And again, at the time, yeah, there was tension, but on the outside looking in, for every day, like, you're just doing your thing, we all thought everything was, oh, okay, we didn't even know. So the past 6 months, they have been in a war. USA is an ally to the Ukraine. So I'm also looking at this situation with Brittney GRINER as a political piece at this point, because in my opinion, and Phil, you have every right to disagree. You feel me? You have every right to not agree, disagree, not agree, right? But I look at this as it's a political issue, and I'm gonna be real. I look at Brittney GRINER as a political prisoner. Because again, when you look at the laws that's on book in Russia for this same situation, if you're caught with an illegal substance, it's literally a fine. Maybe a few, you might 30, 40 days or something in jail and a fine. She got 9 to 9.5 years. Information will be in the description box below. But she got 9 to 9.5 years for something that normally would be a fine and maybe, you know, you spend up to a month or so in jail, if that. And then there's situations, and information will be in the description box below. There are situations where, Mercy, come on. There are situations where other people have, you know, gotten caught with illegal substances, even though, in my opinion, you know, marijuana, cannabis is a flower, is a plant. Granted, when it's lit up, when it's inhaled or ingested, depending on how you have it, it can cause some impact. You know, it's psychedelic, but it's also pain relieving. It has a lot of healing properties, right? But so yeah, but illegal substances in the same country, Russia, and guess what? They did not have to get hit with no 9 to 9.5 years in prison. And they did the same damn thing. Why is it different when it comes to Brittney GRINER? And again, Brittney done already basically been in prison, or in, you know, incarcerated in jail, you know, this past time, for basically 6 months already. Ukraine and Russia been going at it for 6 months. So, like, it's a lot of stuff going on with this. That's why I feel like it's geopolitical, and I feel like Brittney GRINER is being used as a political pawn, you know, because it's like, what's really going on here? Now, a lot of people, you know, I see are always talking about like, why is she over there? Why did she go over there? Why would she go to another country? Blah, blah, blah. You know what's going on. Again, I just broke it down. They just started. I mean, granted, tension was always there between those two countries. There was issues. But the war itself, look, from everyday folks looking from the outside, looking in, it looked like everything was okay. And then, boom, war. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you feel me, people don't travel. And then my thing is this, A$AP Rocky, y'all keep forgetting when he got in that situation over there, when it was a racist situation took place, he ended up getting arrested, and they had him incarcerated for quite some time. And during, what was this, 2020? President Trump, if y'all remember, what is wrong with y'all? Don't start. Anyway. Hey! Anyway, so, sorry. So, President Trump was able, or at least President Trump and his administration, I don't know if it was him by himself, but the administration, the Trump and the Pence administration made sure that they were able to get A$AP Rocky back. So that's another thing. Everybody's always on this. To me, it's a bunch of double standards. Y'all pick and choose who y'all are going to support. Because one minute it's, yeah, you should have known better. She should have known better. She shouldn't have been over here. Why was she over here? You know that's against the law. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the same people saying all of that stuff are also committing illegal activities, right? Because you're doing shit that's also not against the law. And then in the same breath, these were the same people that kept saying free A$AP, free A$AP, free A$AP. Okay. And then if you can't see how race is not being played in this as well, and not only is it racism, but I'm about to go there. From my perspective, I see it from various lenses. I see racism. I see that this is geopolitical between the war with Ukraine and Russia, and USA being an ally to Ukraine. I also see this dealing with the anti-LGBTQ+, the anti-trans, the anti, people having their own bodily autonomy to do their gender and show their expression through their gender or sexuality or whatever their own way. Because if you don't know anything about Russia, Russia is very anti-LGBTQ+, racist as all get out. But then again, look at the USA. The USA is also racist as hell and anti-LGBTQ+. Dude, it's crazy to me how it's like tit for tat, but then everybody wants to scream and talk to you. So it's a lot of angles to look at this. Hey, love JJ 1814, what's good? Good morning, good morning. I'm about to end this soon, but thank you for joining, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a good morning. But seriously, so I'm looking at that. There, you know, anything could happen over there, especially during war, right? Like what's going on. Then on top of that, they're anti-LGBTQ+. You know, Brittney GRINER is, I think, 6 feet 9 inches, maybe like 225, 230. I'm not 100% sure. Information being description like below. She's an outstanding basketball player, and the reason she was in Russia was because of the pay discrepancies that take place in the USA when it comes between women in sports versus men in sports. So like men playing basketball, well, you know, they're getting $1 million contracts, multi-million-dollar contracts, you know, not to mention they're getting all of these endorsements and sponsorships. So they're getting millions on millions on millions on a million. Y'all remember Lil Wayne? That's how it is for men in sports. But women in sports get disrespected in so many different ways. From the financial standpoint, their pay in comparison to men in sports is not even on the same, like it's not even in the same room. Hell, it's not even in the same state. Shit, it's not even in the same country as far as I'm concerned. Because like, as you can see, it's not in the same country. That's why that's why Brittney left to go to Russia to play sports. And you'll notice a lot of women and not just women, but a lot of people will leave the USA to go play sports abroad. And I mean, be all over Europe, be in China, be all over the place, playing basketball. Like, seriously. And a lot of people do it, and especially for women, because they get paid better there, and they're more respected. They're more celebrated. You know what I mean? It's more appreciated. You feel me? Where in the USA, yeah, we have women in sports, obviously basketball, track, softball, you know, soccer, swimming, gymnastics, you name it. Women are playing sports, but the pay discrepancy is ridiculous. You know, you could be in the WNBA, the Women's National Basketball Association, and you could be a phenomenal player, Brittney GRINER, phenomenal player, and it's just wild, right? Like, but yet you're not getting $1 million contracts. You're not getting multi-million-dollar contracts. They are getting like $200,000-$300,000 a year, shit like that. And that, mind you, taxes and deductions. Y'all know I do videos all the time talking about this. Yeah, you getting $200,000 to $300,000. To somebody like me, that's a lot of money to make. But when you look at the fact that you are a professional basketball player, you are a professional athlete, right? You're playing at the professional level, and then you see men, and let's be real, there's men that suck and are being paid better than the best women's basketball players. That's the alcohol part. You got men who are terrible. I mean, horrible players. You kind of sit back and wonder, like, how the hell did you get drafted? How did you get an opportunity? Okay, but then they'll make more money than the best. Like, it's out code. But then you start thinking about things. It's not just in the athletic department. it's the world in general. Women are paid less than men, and literally for doing the same work. And in some cases, and it can be argued, in most cases, better work and still being underpaid and compared to that male. So it's a lot of double standards there. You know what I mean? So again, Brittney Griner went to Russia because they paid more. And again, we live in a capitalist world, a capitalist society, and people they gotta make money to live, right? They got families, they got bills, they got responsibilities. So people make these decisions to provide for themselves and their families. Whether that means you getting a second or third job, or whether that means you are doing something that may be considered illegal, or rather that means you are going to another country because you know you can make more money there in your profession. So when people ask, well, why did she go there? Well, a lot of us wouldn't have to flee places if we had the resources and support in the places that we're from. But we got to leave a lot of times because we're facing persecution, we're facing poverty, we're not being paid correctly, there's lack of resources, there's homophobia, but that's just it. All of that's in the USA as well, right? So, and ironically enough, Brittney went to Russia to get more money because she's a woman in basketball. Cray, right? Because I thought the USA was supposed to, we were supposed to be so number one on all this shit. Yeah, we're number one on oppression. Yeah, we're that. But anyway, hi Latifah, yes, free Brittney GRINER, free BG. And as a queer Black American woman, she is not safe over there. Exactly. Anything can happen to her. She's a political prisoner, in my opinion. And they could torture her, mentally abuse her, all kinds of shit takes place in war. You feel me? But a lot of people, and mind you, what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, that's not the only war, right? That's another thing. Like, everything is so manipulated. Let's just be real. And mainstream media, unfortunately, plays a big role in the manipulation. Because, and this isn't to take away from what this video is about, free Brittney GRINER. She had a 0.5 gram of concentrated THC CBD oil in a vape cartridge. She do not deserve to be in a damn prison for those 9.5 years. Free Brittney GRINER. And again, we have successfully rescued and got our people out of situations throughout time. And again, this is another thing that gets me about the hypocrisy. Y'all sit up here and do all of this, America first, America this, America that, and we protect our own, blah, 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 blah. But then when your person, you got an American being wrongfully detained already for 6 months and now being sentenced to 9.5 years for a crime that is usually within that country punishable with a fine, typically. And you might spend up maybe 30 or so days in jail. Not no damn 9.5. And that's in their country. So why is she getting treated like this? Again, y'all are on that BS, in my opinion. Y'all are hypocritical, in my opinion. It don't make no damn sense. And like I said, y'all pick and choose who's allowed to be, saved and rescued and who we need to fight for. And then y'all turn around and and then say, oh, we can't do that for her because she shouldn't have been over there and she shouldn't have been smoking weed and she should have been, blah, 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 blah. But yet, other people are literally doing the same shit and y'all ass is sitting up there signing petitions, donating, doing all kinds of shit. But then when it comes to other people, Brittney GRINER, just to name one, because there's so many times it's happened. Don't nobody got nothing to say. Don't nobody got nothing to say. And it's just like, no, it's wrong. And like I said, here in Michigan, right, Like I said, it's legal here for medicinal and recreation, marijuana, cannabis, hemp. A half a gram of, well, for example, you can get a gram of concentrated THC, okay, oil, or, for like anywhere from $20 to $60, $70, just depending on where you're going. And you walking into a dispensary, paying cash, sometimes they let you use a card, but it just depends on how they got it set up, and it's legal. So you think that's what I'm saying, like, but I get it, right? We in different countries. But get this, it's also illegal in the USA federally, and then it's also illegal in various states throughout the USA. Ain't that some shit? This place is crazy as hell. The double standards and just the debauchery that takes place in this country. I mean, but anyway, now I will say, President they have been negotiating to get Brittney GRINER home. This is very true. Information is in the description box below. I'm going to make sure that's down there after this video is uploaded. But they have been negotiating to get her back home. And they were going to do basically a prisoner exchange, right? So they're going to give one of the Russian individuals they have housed here for Brittney GRINER, right? And I think another individual. It's going to be an exchange. And then it makes you sit down and think about that shit. Like, why the hell are we just kidding? Why are countries collecting human beings and enslaving them, or incarcerating, just as another way of saying enslaving? Why are countries literally collecting human beings and enslaving them, incarcerating them? And then just like when they have beef with each other, all of a sudden, oh, you know that one guy, we still got him. I'm keeping him under lock and key. If you give me such and such, I'll give you this. Like, y'all just keeping human beings to trade off. Like, y'all don't see how strange that is, too? Like, that's another thing that had me like, what is really going on? And love JJ, if you see here on the student, such a couple guys here, but listen, get killed, confined, or even killed. Not only in the case of the gay community, but anyone anti-government. Who? Mainstream media should be trusted. I'm hearing that there might be a trait in the next month or so for a Russian guy that America has. We shall see. How about our government frees hundreds of thousands of people in prison for petty crimes in weeks? Start with the BS with our government. Right. Can't stand on this. Exactly. Right. That's my whole point, and that's just another thing. Y'all always talk about freedom, freedom, freedom. Love JJ, 1814, just sitting here like, what is going on in Russia is happening in the USA. They're censoring people, whatever we talk about, they're shadow banning. I always talk about freedom of speech, but the minute somebody don't agree with your elected officials, with your political party, or with anything, you immediately, like, you could be killed and murdered and go missing. Hell, you go missing, either be killed, murdered, enslaved, tortured, or they doing prison exchanges. They had you incarcerated for 10 years, you went missing, and then now something happens with another, with the country that you're from or whatever, and now, boom, we doing an exchange. But they had you under lock and key this whole time. Y'all don't see how crazy that is. Yeah, the shadow banning, I agree. Because it's like, and it's a shadow, like for me, I personally feel I've been shadow banned for a while. But hey, it is what it is. Again, free Brittney GRINER. And we need to, in my opinion, do what it takes to bring awareness to her situation and to call out what I, in my opinion, feel are the double standards in society. And like, okay, I get where some people are coming from because I get it. You feel me? I want you to be able to share your perspective, your opinion, right, in a respectful manner. But I also want you to be able to examine why do you have your perspective? Why do you think this way? You feel me? But anyways, I'm about to end this, and I just want to say free Brittney GRINER, free all, as Love JJ said, for real, Love JJ 1814, thank you for saying that and bringing that up. Free all, you know, non-violent offenders, free all people that are wrongfully incarcerated, free all political prisoners, you know, free people from bondage, period. You know what I mean? Nobody deserves that. And, well, in my opinion, most people don't deserve that. Now, serial killers, you feel me, murderers, rapists, sexual assaulters, things of that nature, they need to go somewhere, and they don't need to be with us. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Now, granted, I do believe that there is always a root cause for people doing what they do, but we need to get it at the root and not allow people to, you know, progress to being killers, murderers, rapists, sexual assaulters, abusers, you know, oppressors. You know what I mean? So, but thank you all for joining in the discussion and sharing your perspectives and views. And y'all be careful out here, for real, because you never know. And stop the hypocrisy, you know, USA to Russia to Ukraine. And also, I want to say, don't forget there's other wars and terrorism that's happening throughout the world. Okay, because when you look at what's going on in Palestine, that's genocide. That's been going on for over half a century. Free Palestine. You know, when you see how people are being treated at these border areas, you still got children and families being locked up in cages and ice, these detention centers. And that's here in the USA. And that's all over the world. That's global. So a lot of this is just wrong. And, you know, acting like it doesn't exist, and acting like it can't happen to you is where you're messing up. You know what I mean? So be mindful as you do. Thank you all for tuning in. And if you can share and bring awareness to what's going on with Brittney GRINER, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in the border areas, and just bring awareness and try to help each other. Try to share resources, support, try to help each other, try to inform each other, you know, just be careful. And yes, war doesn't take a vacation. Many of these words are promoted and instigated by these countries. For real. For real. Yup. And always dibbling and dabbling and literally pulling the strings. It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, war is profit. All they care about is money. That's why they call it, I remember there was the war machine. They call it the war machine because it's all about money. And what this world, for the most part, is a capitalist, just as a capitalist economic structure. Not only in the USA, but globally. Overarching, that is the financial economic structure. And in my opinion, capitalism is slavery with a C. And I'm just gonna, that's just how I personally view it. That's my opinion. And I have various reasons behind it. I mean, everything's about money. They put money over human life every single day. You look at what's going on with COVID, the various variants. Now we got polio popping back up. Now we got monkeypox. Just people living in poverty, people not having housing, shelter, clean drinking water, the list, healthcare, the list goes on and on. If they can't make profit, they don't care. They'll have everyone dying and suffering, killing and murdering and slaughtering, while also screaming, all lives matter. The hypocrisy and the cognitive dissonance of it all is ridiculous. And again, all lives matter, and guess what? Brittney GRINER lives matter, and we need to be making sure that she gets home safe. And we need to be making sure that everybody that's wrongfully incarcerated, enslaved, in bondage, gets out safely to freedom, period. So, free Brittney GRINER, and, yeah, exactly. And it's the racism and the double standards, right? Because in the same breath, they were celebrating Kyle Rittenhouse getting off killing innocent people at a non-violent protest against racism and police brutality. So it's just crazy to me, right? Like, thanks, fam. Thank you for addressing that and mentioning that, because it's the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, meanwhile, y'all have been committing crimes against humanity for centuries. I mean, what in hell? But yet, somebody has a half gram of concentrated THC CBD oil in vape cartridge. 9.5 years. But you can literally go out here with an assault rifle. Oh, I was scared. They were coming for me. I didn't know what to do. I'm just 17. And you can get away with that. Slap on the wrist. And not only that, you can go and make millions of dollars. You can go get sponsors and become rich and famous. You get all the jobs that other people can't get, even though they've got 10 years of experience and multiple degrees. But that's only for certain types of people. You're right, but yet all lives matter. Anyways, I'm about to head on out. Thank you all for tuning in and sharing your perspectives and opinions. Free Brittney GRINER, and for real, be safe out here. You know, I'm gonna be honest. If you can get your mask, save up on your mask, try to buy as much as you can, within reason. Like, don't overbuy it to the point that other people can't get access to it, but try to get at least an extra box of masks, gloves, bleach, soap, hand sanitizer, because between monkeypox, polio is now back out, flu season is basically about to be back. You just want to be careful. And that's what I suggest and recommend. But you know, you're gonna do you, but do you. But I'm out, and again, free Brittney GRINER.